we've been taught to go to school, go to learn, be the person that your jobs require you to be instead of be you and do what you love. That is something I came to realization. And when I got back, things were just so different.
Thank you for joining the Free Time Mastermind podcast, conversations with entrepreneurs and more. I'm your host, Robert Gaines. Our guest is women's coach and digital nomad Merel van Leeuwen. We cover life in Thailand, personal transformation, and coaching others. Severe weather caused us to shoot this over the course of 2 interviews. Here's Merel. Thank you for joining us. What time is it where you are?
At the moment, it's 6 o'clock. I think a little bit over 6 o'clock in the AM in the morning.
6 o'clock in the AM. And what country are you in?
In Thailand, momentarily.
All right. The big city or?
No, in Phuket, the island in the south.
Yes. Wow. Very good. Beautiful place, I heard. Is that right? One of the best, like a beach town.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I have been to some silver islands, which are, I think, even more beautiful. But even if I look out the window, I see the hills with the greens everywhere. There's plants and nature, and yeah, it's amazing.
Now, that's obviously you're not originally from Thailand. Can you tell us where you come from originally?
Yeah, I was born in the Netherlands. I was born in the middle of the Netherlands. Utrecht is the city called. Yeah, and I was raised in the south. So we moved from the middle to the south.
So now you've started this incredible journey. Take us back to January and talk us through this journey that you've gone on as a personal development coach.
Yeah, of course. So I started my own coaching business in January. And I used to come back from Thailand because last year was my first solo trip ever. I used to always work in healthcare. I had a full-time job. I did some working in troubled youth. Then I did work in a psychiatric as not as a nurse, but as a guidance. So we kind of combined that role to combine elderly people in a psychiatric. And I used to live on my own. And so that was a really compact, little cozy life I had with my ex-boyfriend. I used to live there in Roosendaal. But there always was like a feeling that this wasn't enough. I really wanted to travel. And then COVID was there and I couldn't travel because all the countries were done. They were closed. So I used to work a lot just to get the money in to travel. Well, we broke up. I used to live, I think, a year on my own there in Roosendaal. Work, got graduated because I did another education with that job. And then I think it was last year, August, a couple months before graduation, I was like, I don't want this anymore. So I quit my job, I quit my home, I got a one-way ticket to Indonesia, and 2 weeks before I packed my bag and I went off on the plane. Yeah.
What made you choose Indonesia? That's an interesting choice.
People ask me that a lot, and the only thing I can say is it was drawn to me. It sounds very weird, but Asia is very drawn to me. I think because a lot of people say that it was very safe for a girl to travel in. It was very cheap. My mother had that dream once that she wanted to travel and she never did it. But she did 3 weeks of Indonesia and she had the time of her life. And I saw all the people and I thought, yeah, I really like their Buddhist culture. There is something about that culture or about the people that really drawn to me. So yeah, I went there and it was the first minute I stepped out of that plane because I really was so scared to go on that plane. I never did anything on my own. And just to take that big step of going like, I shot my old life off and then going into a new life and just travel. It was very scary, but the moment I get off the plane, that was like I was coming home. It's very weird to describe. It was just a very open feeling. So I traveled to Indonesia and then I traveled to Thailand, where I am now in Phuket. And this is where it all really started. I saw people doing things online. I started doing the digital nomad lifestyle, and I was a bit jealous, may I say, that people had that. I'm like, how can you do that? I want that too. I don't want to live in the Netherlands anymore. People are very straightforward, work, and yeah, I think there was just a very different mindset in Asia. That's where I meet last year my boyfriend. He was training Muy Thai here in Thailand, and I had just had my first class because I picked it up in Bali with a friend, and I really loved it. And the first day we met each other, and he is an online web designer, so he was already doing that lifestyle. He already lived 3 years in Thailand. He's from the UK, and he was the one who said to me, "Okay, so do your own thing." And I'm like, "I can't do that. I can't open up my own business. Are you crazy? No, I can't do that." And he's like, "Yeah, you should. You should just try it out and see what happens." So that's what I did. I came back to the Netherlands and I opened my business straight away.
So, did you decide to build a website? Did you get software like Go High Level or Kajabi? Walk us through that, kind of the construction of that, of how you offer that service.
Okay, so I started doing the personal development for first for everybody. It was like, yeah, man, woman, I can teach everyone or I can try to help everyone. But I noticed that being with women, they can resonate more to me, and men are more. It's different thinking, different aspects of life. I think different approach. So I just started fully focusing on women, mentally and physically, because I think that is a good thing to combine. And of course, my boyfriend is a web designer, so he built his a beautiful website for me where I started from. And I use social media a lot, so it's started with my website and then it development in different social media strategies.
Now, is it structured in groups or one-on-one? And do you offer online curriculum?
Yeah, everything is online. And I do one-on-one coaching. I prefer one-on-one coaching. I don't have group coachings yet. That's something I'm working on, but at the moment I just do one-on-one coaching.
And of course, gamification is really hot right now. A great way to do online teaching. Do you
Yeah.
produce PDFs or videos for people to watch? Or is there any kind of offline or online content that people can grab on their own from your site?
At the moment, no. I'm working on School as a platform. I don't know if you heard about School. It's a platform where people can upload videos, upload things that their customers or their clients can just go into like a big group, and they can watch videos. They can try to do like tasks or whatever and chat with you. So I'm trying to build that so people can, if they don't want the one-on-one or if they want to try it on themselves, but just have a very specific aspect on their mental health or physical health where they're like, I need more information about that. That's what I'm trying to build now. It's not finished yet. And I'm doing YouTube videos at the moment. So I'm trying to get some information there that people can see. I talk on my Instagram. I need to do that more. I'm not a big social media fan. I wanted to delete everything, but yeah, then I opened up my own business, and social media is the place to marketing at the moment, so I couldn't do that anymore. So I'm trying to pick that up and make more videos, but it's still something I'm working on.
It sounds like you actually started this in the Netherlands. Is that correct? You didn't start it in Thailand. You actually started it at home.
Yeah, sorry. I went back. I've been away last year for 6 months from August till December. So I got back in just before Christmas and started right away.
And so you partnered with him there in Holland, and then you guys at some point decided to return to Thailand, or?
He got back to London, he got back to the UK, and I got back to the Netherlands. So we saw each other once a week, I think every month almost. Yeah.
Very good, very good. So when did you make the decision to move to Thailand?
So when I got back in the Netherlands,
Mhm.
I really already had that desire to be a digital nomad. I just didn't see anyhow. I think we are have a very tunnel vision when it comes to Europe. I don't know. That's just my opinion from the Netherlands. Is that we've been taught to go to school, go to learn, be the person that your jobs require you to be, instead of be you and do what you love. That is something I came to realization. And when I got back, things were just so differently. People were like, there's all this negativity, people complaining, and I know there's a lot of complaining to do, but that doesn't make you going anywhere. And my mindset was just very, my mindset had such a turn when I got back to when I was going to travel. Such a different perspective of how I see things. I saw things very negative. I was complaining when I was younger about a lot of things. And now I had that different mindset change. So yeah, that's
Sounds
where I
like
started.
too. Maybe
Yeah,
you had a taste of that different perspective in
yeah,
Indonesia, and
yeah,
it sounds like it planted a seed in your mind
yeah.
that
It
grew.
really did.
And of course,
Yeah,
it's hard to have perspective until you leave your home in Thailand. Of course, in a big city like Phuket, that's popular, that have a lot of expats, that have a lot of, I think the word is farang
yeah,
in
Frank.
Thai,
Yeah.
which means foreigner in Thailand. Uh, how important is knowing the language there as you've navigated through the city?
Everybody speaks English here, especially in Phuket. Even the locals speak a little bit English, so you can navigate your way through that. Although I love to learn Thai, I'm not good at it. I can speak a few little words, niet nooit words. um, but yeah, you can just speak English here and people will understand you.
Fantastic. So it doesn't sound like there's many people, many native Thai people that speak Dutch.
No,
It
no,
would
no,
be,
no,
it's not.
no.
Yeah.
Which was funny because in Indonesia, there are some similar words to Dutch, and
Oh, wow.
sometimes when I didn't come up with a word and they say it in Dutch or say it in Dutch, and sometimes they could understand me. Yeah, they
Interesting.
have. We have. I thought we had colonies in Indonesia. Do we have a connection with the? I don't really know the history about the Netherlands and Indonesia. I just know that there is a little bit of back long days.
And besides Phuket, have you gone to some areas? And if so, can you give us kind of some of the other highlights in Thailand, some of the things that you've seen there?
I've been to Bangkok for so far. I don't like big cities. I'm an island girl. No, I don't like big cities. Bangkok was just it was just a big city. It was I stayed there for a couple of days, which was nice. It's good to see there, and it's good to see a big city as well. It was beautiful. The skyline went. I couldn't even see farther than that. I just saw skyline everywhere. So it's very impressive to see what people can build. That was my impression of Bangkok. I've been to Koh Samui. I've been to Koh Phangan. I think that's it for Thailand. And Koh Samui and Koh Phangan are two little islands next to each other. Yeah, they're gorgeous. They are very sabai sabai is how they say in Thailand. Very slow, very everything will be all right. A little bit spiritual as well, and a lot of people with a lot of ranks, a lot of fullness, staying there, having a mindset business, having their the personal development, fitness is all central there in the island. So it's a really good vibe, I think, if you're looking for that to be in a positive vibe, I think.
So what about if you can give me an idea of the rent there per month? And I know Phuket is probably one of, if not the most expensive place to live, because you know that's kind of the exotic beach town that a lot of people really enjoy.
Yeah.
What would be the monthly rent in, well, it would be tough because it would be euros for you, but dollars for us. Maybe we can
Yeah.
figure out in Thai baht to dollars what it costs.
Let me see, because the first time I traveled, I stayed in hostels, so it literally cost me five €5, so 200 something buff a day. And now I'm staying in a very expensive apartment, which is provided by my boyfriend. But that's what I'm saying. You can make it as expensive as you if you want. We stay in this luxury apartment now, just because my boyfriend really likes this apartment for his work, for conveniency. So this is just up to 500 €500 a month, I think, something like that.
That's
So you
very affordable. And of course, everybody asks about safety. Do you feel safe there? I haven't heard any really bad things about it.
always, yeah, no, I feel really safe. I felt safe in Indonesia. I felt safe in Thailand. I haven't had one experience where I thought I wasn't safe.
That's fantastic. I've even heard
Yeah,
stories where somebody has left an iPhone or a purse, and the Thais will chase them down and say, "Hey, you left your purse." They'll
yeah,
bring.
yeah,
Try that in New York City and
exactly.
see what
Yeah, no,
happens.
but that's what I mean. The people are so giving. They have nothing, and you come in here as a foreigner, and they just want to make you happy. That's all it's all about. And sometimes I think that is sad that the people don't know better, and they that this is a life, but they are so happy. Like even if you ask them, they are so happy with their lives. Probably because they don't know the rich, or they don't know what's beyond there. And then I'm thinking, what is even rich? Well, why we are chasing these things while when they have nothing and they're still happy? So what that puts me in another perspective as well. Like if you see their mindset and how they live, how different that is from Westerners um, of living in their perspectives.
What about other people from the Netherlands there? Because something that expats and digital nomads talk about is, obviously, even though you have your partner there, sometimes people still feel a little bit of isolation. They want to get back, like the food in the Netherlands. I can say, just my humble opinion, the food was really good in the Netherlands, especially the milks, the cheese products, the chocolate. And I don't know if Thailand has that. So do you miss the food? Do you miss the camaraderie of having other people? Oh, no. Okay. All right.
No, I don't miss the food. I think in the Netherlands there's a lot of processed food, and I'm really trying to eat more conscious about what I eat, and just to eat wholesome foods. So here in Thailand, everything's very a lot of vegetable. Well, not a lot of vegetables, but more clean food, I think.
So I've heard that, obviously Thailand grows a lot of fantastic healthy food options, but it sounds like the Thai lifestyle is a little bit cleaner from a diet perspective.
And they cook with a lot of oil, so if it's really clean, I don't know. I just know that this is just the food is not processed here. They literally pluck the apples or whatever they have, and they make food in it, and they make it with so much love. You can really taste the difference. So I think that you can eat as healthy as you want, because they have a lot of Western restaurants as well, which had good food, like Western food, but real Thai food. Yeah, I just really like the food.
And what about the aspects there? Obviously, they have world-class Thai boxing, they have world-class yoga. Have you done any personal development for yourself there where you've gone through some courses and classes and training there in Thailand?
Yeah, so I did fitness my whole life. Well, when I started 16, I think, 16, 17 fitness. And I always wanted to try kickboxing, but I never did it. And I kind of regret it now because I started doing Muy Thai here in Thailand. It is kickboxing, but then you can use your elbows as well as a different technique, different style as well than K1 kickboxing in the Netherlands. And I started that last year in October and I fell in love with it. So that's the reason why I came back to Thailand as well, is to have a fight in here. So I'm fighting in October, have my first fight of Muy Thai in a legitimate ring in here in
Look
Thailand.
out. Wow. But
Yeah.
in those shorts that you're doing, I think those are those Facebook reels, the short videos that you're posting. I saw a lot of either Americans, Canadians, or Europeans in the background. A lot of people are training Muay Thai. What's going on there? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm training at this big gym. It's a little bit of a holiday gym, but also you can just train as serious as you want. But people from all over the countries are coming there to train. It's a big group of people at the moment. There are Americans, a lot of people from the UK, Europe, everywhere.
Wow. Yeah, that looked, I was surprised because it didn't look like there were a lot of Thai people. There were Thai trainers there, but
Yeah,
all the customers looked like they were they were from somewhere else. I thought,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Now, do you think any of those people are using, because I've looked online that you can get because Thailand, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, they love visitors, they love vacationers, but it's a tough place to stay if you want to stay, let's say, 6 months or a year. Has that been your experience? Because some people use, I think, a Muay Thai, like a visa program so that they can stay there longer.
Yeah, we have that too. The rules before COVID or before COVID was that you could stay 2 months. With COVID or after COVID was 1 month you could stay. You had a visa for 1 month and you could extend it by another month and then you need to leave the country. And now is you get a free visa when you arrive at Thailand for 2 months, you can extend that by 1 month and then you need to leave the country. So it's not hard to get in Thailand, it's hard to stay in Thailand. But we do have visas if you want to be a fighter, if you want to be a Muay Thai fighter. They have like a year, I think, 6 months, a year visas that you can renew it. You have to renew it all the time, but they have longer that you can stay there in Thailand. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like in Thailand, because on the channel I talk a lot about Nicaragua. I went there twice last year. And it was fantastic. You know, just
Hmm.
most Americans don't go, so it was like learning a new secret that nobody knew about, and it's fantastic. But it's also a tough place to stay for a very long time. But it sounds like it's a similar system in Thailand because basically, essentially the same. After 90 days, you just have to do what they call a border jump or a border run and renew. So if you being in Phuket, where do you guys go to get the passport stamp and then just come back, or?
Yeah, you can choose. They organize trips here. So last year I did a trip to Malaysia. So it's 1 day with the bus. You go very early all the way to Malaysia with the bus. You literally go over the border and come back, and then you go back with the bus. But you can fly to Bali. Some people do like 3 months Bali and 3 months Thailand. Do that whatever you want. I think you can go to any border, but they organize trips to Malaysia and to some island next to Thailand, like a boat trip.
We talked before a little bit about your career as a digital nomad, you know, going around starting in Indonesia first and then maybe finding a better fit. Now, when you went to Indonesia, were you on the island of Java or were you somewhere else?
I started at Java, 2 weeks at Java. That was backpacking every day. I was not at another spot. It was very cool to do. And then I started going to Bali for a month, I think. Yeah, I was in Bali for a month.
Perfect. And then obviously it sounds like you went back home for a little while and then decided to move to Thailand.
Indeed, yeah. I worked 4 jobs back in the Netherlands because I didn't want to live in the Netherlands anymore. So I had my own business. I was like, what can I do more to just get that money in my saving account and to go start traveling again? So I worked very hard, but eventually that really paid off, and I could go for a longer period to Thailand again and try to see how my business works out as a digital nomad.
Perfect transition because we'll go right into the business because we tried to get into it before, and we
Yeah.
started to lose signal right as we were getting into the good stuff. Where
Yeah.
are you seeing the most traction? And I'll tell you a quick thing that's just happened in the last 24 hours. I was on my YouTube account checking my analytics because I just started uploading some shorts for the very first time. I was up
Hmm.
very, very late last night, late into the evening, pulling out the very first episode of this show and using Descript to create some very short videos. So I just have right before we started recording, I just happened to go into YouTube and check the analytics, and there was this spike in viewership. And I mean, it looked like it went up so high. I was like, there has to be something wrong, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it would be in a day there was equal to 15% of the entire views of the history of my channel. And I was like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But people got on those shorts that were just
Yeah.
uploaded yesterday.
Yeah.
500 views on 5 shorts. And I was like, what? I'm a long format guy. I'm not trying to be Joe Rogan, but we go 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And I thought, I'm going to have to get into these shorts. This is where the action is, I guess. I don't know. What are you finding when you're posting to social media? Where are you seeing not just the attention, because, the likes and the comments are nice, but ultimately you and I both, we want conversion. You want clients. I want clients. Where are you seeing the most bang for your buck, both in terms of maybe spending for ads, or where do you think your time is best invested?
I think for someone my age and my target audience, and my niche also, the coaching business, I think Instagram and TikTok are the best ways for me. I do upload on Facebook and YouTube as well, and everything has its different target audience. I think TikTok is a lot of girls and a lot of my age and a little bit older. So I got a lot of traffic in there. And Instagram was just, I think, to speak to a lot of people, a lot of like-minded people. I think those two are the work best for me. I do upload on YouTube as well, but I just started doing that. I need to do it more. I'm not that confident, so that's something I need to work on. But I think TikTok and Instagram are, for me, very good things to start with.
And do you have a perfect client in mind when you're out there posting content? Are you looking for maybe females 25 to 45, or is there kind of a customer avatar or a particular demographic that you're trying to reach out to?
Yeah, so my perfect client is between 18 and 40. This client has struggled with emotional problems, maybe even further into depression or other mental health issues, is feeling insecure, doesn't feel like she knows where she's going, and just get a little bit stuck in life. And she really wants to work that out and try to see how can I make myself a better person or better person. How can I use these negative things into a positive one? So that's where that is my target audience, and that's where I train the people to become fully confident, and for mostly women at the moment. Yeah.
And of course, there's a tie into the physicality of, let's say, the Muy Thai training that you're doing. I know a lot of people that recovered from drugs and alcohol, and a lot of that kind of that addictive behavior in a positive way got rechanneled into a physical activity. I know
Yeah.
people that became long distance runners, they became boxers, they got into this great, because the endorphins, the chemicals that your body produces, it's a natural high. It's obviously a healthy one. And even for people that don't have addictive behaviors, engagement in physical activity is a great mental internal medication against depression, for
Yeah.
people that don't have addictive issues. So is that part of the regimen that you're suggesting to people? Get outside, get the sun, get the vitamin, because that's what you did. You went right to a place that's beautiful,
Yeah.
that has sun all the time. So you're in a fantastic environment for good mental health.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% my beliefs too. And this is what I'm doing with the coaching on mentally. So how can we get you into a positive mentality? How can we get your mindset correct, to think positive instead of negative? how can we work on the things? How can we make you so confident in yourself that you can reach every dream you have? Because I think that is very important. And also to learn to be your best friend. But I do think that taking the part of like a physical activity, if that is Muay Thai, if that is fitness, if that's even walking outside in the nature, that is just a big remedy I use in my coaching as well. I combine those two because I know for myself that is literally what almost saved me when I was younger, when I went through my emotional struggles. I went through depression, big depression when I was younger. And I didn't have those things. I didn't told anyone. I was just struggling on my own. And I was very, very angry, told everyone, or was angry at the whole world. But when I used to start doing fitness, that is just where it kind of changed for me. It was like, okay, I can really do something about my insecurities. I can really do something about how I see myself. And that just got me like a confidence boost to even more grow in that personal development. And then Muay Thai came. So it's just been step on step. And I really think physical activity is the way to make you want to be, and to chase your dreams.
And I was surprised when you said, and I don't know if we got it perfectly on video last time, but you're actually going to compete. You're not just going in there for exercise. You're going to go into a real match
Oh
and
yeah.
fight somebody. Do you already know the person you're going to fight, or is that just gets determined later on?
Yes, determined later on. I think I fight for October, but that's not set yet. We need to take the pictures. There's a lot of process going on. It's in 2 weeks, I think, 2.5 weeks. And I think when a week before, when we take the pictures, I can see who I am against too, because there's only one women fight normally on Fridays. So you basically know which is your opponent. Yeah, so a week before, I think I know who I'm fighting. Yeah.
So hopefully you'll post that as well, or at least like the highlight reel.
Oh, I'm gonna film everything. Even yeah, it's just fun to do. I think it's been a hell to have this fight again because there's a lot of training, a lot of running every day. 2 times Muay Thai training is the hardest thing I ever did. And believe me, I want to cry every day and just quit. But this is what I'm doing for myself, just to try to see how far can I push my body, how far can I do something what normally people don't do. So yeah, it's been a great progress, but it's hard.
And dietary restriction, I would assume that because I know that at least the people that I know that have fought before, they start cutting weight, going in before the bout, and the stuff that they eat. It looks very small to me. It doesn't look like very, very good portions. So I assume you're probably working on that side of it as well.
No, this is not. In Thailand, they focus more on your condition. It's not like fights in UFC or fights in amateur and kickboxing, whatever. It's more open, I think. I don't have to be really that weight. I don't have to strict anything. I'm eating
Wow.
healthy, just like I think a fighter's meal that I have, but I don't have to strict on anything.
Oh, that's
No,
good.
just the training. Yeah.
Because I've talked to some people, they said the dieting is worse than the fight.
Yeah, no,
Having
no,
to eat.
no. It's not that strict in Thailand. They don't do they do once a week in, and you can even lie on that if you want. So no.
Wow. That's fantastic. And of course, Thailand knows what they're doing as far as training Muay Thai. People come from all over the world. Some of the
Yeah,
greatest people in MMA have come through there to get some additional training. Of
yeah.
course, some people go to Brazil to get the BJJ, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, which is world class there. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds. I looked at boxing in Nicaragua, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the groundwork in Brazil, and of course, Muay
Mm.
Thai and Muay Thai would be 60% feet, do you think, or 70% feet, 30% hands? What's the ratio you see there?
Well, I think more feet, less boxing, but that's just different. There's different style. If you are really Muay Thai and you really did that, you started in Thailand. I think you throw more kicks than and elbows. Then you really box. As a K1 fighter from the Netherlands, because I did some kickboxing, is very different technique, is very different how you stand. I do more boxing and more kicking, so I need to learn more elbows. But no, I think 70% kicks and elbows what you do. Yeah.
And as far as the people going there, what are your recommendations for people that are interested in going to Thailand? Is there some things that they should be careful about, or some things that they definitely should try and enjoy once they get there?
I always think that is a very hard question because it's perspective and it's what you like. Because people say Bangkok is awful. Like I don't think big cities are my thing. I love islands, so I always recommend the islands because they're beautiful. But like the cities are insane just to see it. And of course, you always watch your stuff and it's everywhere. But I haven't felt this safe. I couldn't walk in the Netherlands very safe in the streets in the dark, I think. If you go into a big city, I never had problems that in here in Phuket. So Phuket is a recommendation. It's amazing. You have everything here. You have the islands, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan. I've been. They're amazing. And I just went to Bangkok, so I didn't do whole Thailand yet. But I heard the north is amazing. Just know when you're going because I think this period, well, is Muslim season as well in here now. But sometimes in the north it's very, very rainy, but also very cloudy, so you can't see really a lot.
Okay.
So people should you consider the weather? Not really. But sometimes when you really want to do things, it's good to just have in your head, okay, maybe this is something we don't need to do with the weather. But you can do literally everything. The nature is perfect everywhere. Even when it's raining, it's more green. Um, so yeah, I'm just in love with Thailand, I think.
And of course, the people that are animal lovers, there's all of these great animal preserves. Of course, they're famous for the monkeys, they're famous for
Yeah,
the elephants, and
yeah.
some really incredible for the eco tourists, I guess is what they call them. And I want to transition back for a moment for the coaching. Are there
Mhm.
any go-to techniques that you recommend to people? I keep seeing journaling. I mean, I write anyway. That's kind of part of my profession in a way now.
Yeah.
So I have to do some form of journaling anyway. I don't do it for therapy, but I do notice that it is a form of therapy because I'm getting out what's on my mind. Do you have some recommendations for people, things that you commonly recommend to as you're coaching?
Yeah, sure. I also think that it depends on what your goals are, what you're trying to work on. If you are someone who's feeling very insecure and wants to be very confident, so let's start with that. I think it's important just to be your best friend and to learn who am I and what are my strengths, what are my qualities, what are my goals. I think making self-awareness very important. Who are you? Who do you want to be? I think you already, if you have that very strong, you already beat some things in your insecurity. Try to set your mindset into a positive one. So change the perspective how you see things. So, for example, something I always use, and when I'm coaching people, if you're feeling like negative thoughts, try to make them positive. So instead, if you look in the mirror and you think, I'm not pretty, okay, so who says you're not pretty? Like, do you say that to your best friend? You are your best friend. So why are you saying that to yourself? Okay, so instead of I'm not pretty, I'm beautiful, and try to repeat that over and over and just never stop talking not positive about yourself. Just cut the negative every time when you think about something negative to cut it out. And I think that's everything is habit, and all we do is behavior that's habit. So every habit that you learn from you were born and from your parents or whatever, you need to change it into positive ones because we didn't learn that, but it just takes time. And I think those two, when you be self-aware, when you make your mindset into a positive one and think about growth instead of failure, and then you set goals and make action steps or lists how you going to fix those or are you going to train them, and do reflections and journaling, because I do think that is the way to just get out of your mind and put it on the paper and be your own therapist, or how do you want to call it. I really believe in that. So I think if you don't do those three things, every emotional struggle you struggle with, I think you can tackle that with those three steps. Yeah.
And you've got a good promotional strategy. We talked about before that obviously you're trying to reach out to a lot of people that are in Holland, and obviously you'll transition to some English speaking clientele as well, which is very exciting. And I've not mentioned it on the channel before. I don't know why this has never come up. I guess I just hadn't thought of it. But of course, I have found guests and you have found podcasts. There are a bunch of great Facebook pages where there are hosts looking for guests and guests looking for hosts. It's like a matchmaking service. And I would say at least half of the guests that have come on have probably come from that. I also reach out to people on YouTube. I'll reach out through any resource, but I'd say 50% come from these great groups. And you're in there, you're very active. You're putting your information out there, what you have to offer on a podcast. And I talked to a friend of mine who's not in exactly a coaching business, but it's in a similar industry, and they weren't even aware that there was such an outlet. How did you find out about the Facebook groups where you could get on podcasts?
I think I have two business coaches who helps me with my business. So they really try to give me the tools I need to find the people, book myself, put my story out there. And they said join Facebook groups. So I was looking for Facebook group, and then I saw some of our podcasts. I'm like, oh, this is a great way to like get my story out. So we just applied to that and try to see if somebody wants me as a guest.
And you brought up a good point about mentors. I love bringing that up on the podcast as well. When did those people come into your life, and how have they helped shape you?
They came in my life the beginning of my business in January 2024. So this January, and they just reached out. I already knew one of the guys. They are with three now, but they started with two. They started with three. And one of the guys I already knew from my sport education. So we reached out, hey, saw your business, just a message and a call, how it was going. Let's chat for a coffee if you want to. So I came over to the guys and we had a chat, and it was lovely. And they helped me already a lot with focusing, because I didn't know what to do. I just knew I have a business, I have an idea. I tried to make some posts about it, but I really didn't know what to do. So they just gave me a lot of direction, and then already I saw a lot of progress. So I was like, oh, I need you guys, so you need to have my back. So I think I started 4 months after that, because of course everything has to you have to pay money. And at that moment, I worked really hard, but didn't really have the money. So we work more, so I could get these guys behind my back. And I think from the moment of done, they're very loyal and very helpful to whatever question I have or whatever problem there is. They really help me get through that.
Are you paying for any subscriptions that help support your business? In other words, softwares that help move the business along?
Yeah, I do have Calendly. I have my own website, so Webflow. I pay for that. I pay for the apps that are on my website. So that is Calendly. So that is connected to my website. But also your domain you have to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I use Zoom for my meetings. I think that is it. I can have a lot of free apps to like Notion and Trello I use to just get everything on. I have a Google account, so I pay for my Google account, but I have the documents I use. I have YouTube I use. I don't use the premium, just use my account for that. And everything what's on there is all I need for my business, is all compact in one Google Drive.
Perfect segue into the next point. How can people find you? Do you want people to connect with you on Facebook? Do you want people to connect with you on YouTube or LinkedIn? What's the best way people can find you, or just go straight to the website?
I think so. Yeah, all my my social media are on my website as well. basically my name is everywhere the same. It's Merel van Leeuwen. It's always everywhere the same. They can connect me everywhere where they want. I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have TikTok. And I think everything is settled on my website. So if they just go to my website, they see my social media as well. It's www.survivefertility.com.
Fantastic. What made you come up with that? I have an idea maybe, but what made you come up with that name for the business?
I really believe in Sabai Sabai. It's the first time ever when I heard that last year. Sabai Sabai is basically go with the flow. Life is not that hard. Go easy. It's all right. And I use it as a mantra when I'm just being very stressed or like, why is nothing going my way or feeling whatever. I just use Sabai Sabai, and it's like some weight goes off your shoulders and you just get on with your day. And I thought that is such a good thing to just, sometimes things are not that hard and you just need to let it go and just let it flow. And I was like, oh, I want Sabai in my name. I even tattooed it on my body. I got it. I don't know if you see it, Sabai Sabai on my arm.
That's fantastic. And of course, for people that don't know, that's a phrase in the Thai language.
Yeah, in the Thai language, indeed. They use it all the time in here. And fertility is just the overall health. I think what is so important, your mentally, physically, mind, body connection, everything. So I thought if I combine those, I have a very original, I think, authentic name.
I love it.
That's where it came from.
Well, I'm very grateful that you came back after all of the weather problems that I had.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for being a guest on your show, and I really appreciate your time. You took me and your positive words about me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on the Free Time Mastermind podcast. I'm your host, Robert Gaines. To support the channel, please click like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode. The book Scintilla, The Ultimate Guide to Generating Business Ideas, Products, and Services, is now available on Amazon. It's available as an ebook, softcover, and hardcover. Please find the link to the Amazon page in the description, as well as other links relevant to this episode.